Something a little bit different, and this might all go very wrong, or it might just not go at all. I have been invited onto a very right wing podcast to chat about EVs and solar, which is a subject about which I have learned a lot. And I've checked my facts, they're all up here in my head, which I tapped, but the webcam is going to be, you'll see me in a sec. And I've got notes. I've got all the notes. As far as I know, all my notes are correct. I have checked my sources, though I haven't written them down. There's a whole ton of maths because I like maths. So I'm just waiting to see if the guy actually goes through with this, because this is proper anti-vax, anti-Biden, pro-Trump, anti-abortion levels of right-wing insanity. Speaking as a British person, as I may have mentioned before, our concept of right-wing in this country is about where the US is the middle. Like the idea of like abortion, like rights being taken away, like that's not a political platform. It's not even on the spectrum. Gun control, not on the spectrum. Capital punishment, not on the spectrum. So we are effectively in the UK massively left wing relative to the US, and even in the US, like your centrics are just right. I'm mostly just talking to myself. I'm mostly just stalling until this guy goes, okay, come along, or what. But I suspect this is going to be an almighty clusterfuck and a massive argument. But I suspect he will just say bullshit when I just state a fact, or he'll talk over me, or we'll get the classic, oh, you don't believe the facts you read on the internet. And it's like, I had someone earlier going, about depreciation of electric cars, and it was like, he just didn't believe it. It's like, oh, you can't believe what we read on the internet. And I was like, what have you done like a multi-year, multi-million car depreciation project? Can you share some numbers? Because he was going on about how Auto Trader was lying. Auto Trader being a British, I think it's British anyway, it's a British website that deals with selling second-hand cars. So they have all the data, and they have absolutely zero what's the word? Bias. They don't care. They're just like, here you go, here are the stats. And it was just because I happen to know that the Tesla Model 3 is the least depreciating car. That's just a fact. It's not my opinion, and that's the important thing. I don't have an opinion. I've got very few opinions on things. Mostly what I just want to know are the facts. And if it's something, esoteric, is God real? I don't really have an opinion, because you can't prove it one way or the other. Whereas you can absolutely prove, for example, the average payback time for a solar panel. Subject I think we'll go over. So yes, but as I've been saying to a couple of people in the Discord, I am really saddened by the anti-progress brigade on the internet. And even if I persuade one person to go off and get a house battery and solar, I've offset my personal carbon footprint enormously. So, as I said, it's all very well going, I'll just let them do what they want, but I am a big proponent of be the change that you want to see in the world. And I want to see people just being right, just anything else. Since Donald Trump's whole fake news thing, you would have thought that would have been a lot more important. Like, I don't care if I'm right. I don't care if I'm wrong. What I care about is this is definitely true. We can definitely continue to make electric cars for the next 185 years. And we'll find more lithium. It's definitely okay. I don't ever feel the need to lie in order to be right, because that misses the point of being right. It's like, as I said earlier, you want to be right. You don't want to think you're right, and lying in order to appear right is just a total waste of time. Oh, he's online. I've got me buzzword, my EV buzzword bingo, because I suspect that might have to happen. That was one earlier. Chat with someone online, and they said they got 30 laps out of their car, but 6 out of a Tesla. And I was like, well, hold on. I mean, I have a car I take on racetracks, and they said, well, either you got 30 miles out of your actual car, and you're telling me the Tesla does 6. It's like rubbish. Or the Tesla is doing, let's say, 30 miles in your car, is doing 150 miles on track. And it's like, he's just lying so much in order to appear right. And I regularly see people going about, oh, the batteries only last 3 years, this sort of thing. So I have all the facts. And I've never been a hostile guest on a show before. If it's funny, if this is actually entertaining, well, I'll edit this down into, because obviously it's on the YouTubes, I'll edit it down into a more concise video. I want coffee, but I've got a caffeine-free snack to think about. God, it's 20 minutes late. How can you be 20 minutes late to recording your own podcast? Well, easily, I suppose. But yeah, I said this before that I say I feel that when I'm proven wrong, I'm just like, because people say things, I want to come back, then come back with, holy shit, I didn't realize that was a thing. Oh my God, I can't believe that. I can't think of an example, but I want people to come back with, holy shit, I can't believe that, rather than that's not true. Yeah, here we go. Is one I looked up earlier, Deepwater Horizon. You remember that from 2010? 4.9 million barrels of oil were just spilled, which is just mind-boggling. And when I found that out, I'm not like, oh, that's not true. It's like, holy shit, that's crazy. Another one I constantly hear is, oh, electric cars aren't that fast. And it's like, dude, where have you been? Like, this is all over the internet. Like, and it's, oh, they're only fast in a straight line. And then you just reply with, here's a video of a Tesla setting the lap record at the Nürburgring. And here's a video of the Taycan beating the Tesla at the Nürburgring. And here's a video of the Plaid beating the Taycan at the Nürburgring. It's just one of those. Yeah, and the current Goodwood Festival of Speed holder, I'm just talking sort of lining up as a fact in my head, but the current Goodwood Festival of Speed holder, which is a very, very prestigious and historic run, is currently held by an electric car. It's insane as well. Has it got a picture of it? It's just batshit. In an awesome way. Yeah, look at that thing. Batmobile. But it beat the record, which is that's quite something. Not just the EV record, it just beat all the records. I don't want to, can I? It looks like it's fast forward, it's just amazing. But this is the thing, I'm a car guy, I'm not a petrol guy, I'm not a diesel guy, I'm not a hydrogen guy. That is fucking amazing. That's what I want in my vehicles. I want them to go really quickly. Yeah, this guy's. People are like, oh, look at the Batmobile. I'm like, oh, yes, I want one. So to bear in mind, that's the whole range of the car. It's about 2 miles or something, is it? Because it's designed to be a 39 seconds. Let's see, what was the previous record? This thing, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what previously held it. I don't care. It was held in the McLaren MP4 and the unofficial record of the IDR, of course, because again, massively powerful.
Duma in the Volkswagen. What can he do today? 43.63 yesterday. The Volkswagen IDR, brilliant acceleration, through turn one.
Here he comes then. This is the car that was
Can't be talking,
quickest here a
can't
couple of
be
years ago,
downforce.
third quickest in the history
But yeah,
of
this
the
is why I
L-Line.
don't understand
And
this sort of
Romain
thing
Dumas
against EVs,
is
because
chucking it up towards,
they're just better.
that is
They're just-
frighteningly
that's-
fast,
that's
and it
just
stops with no problem
literally
at all.
it's better. It's
Swings
literally
it
better
through
than any
Malcolm,
other car
and
apart from
continues on
his
up the
wheels.
hill. It's going to be comfortably
It's not like
the
you're
quickest
like, oh,
run that
they're
we've
better,
seen so far
but
today. He'll get the second intermediate split
better.
in a couple of moments, and it's almost 4 seconds up towards the line.
So you've got to be the 46 in this run.
But I mean, I've always been fascinated about batteries. Like my whole life, I've loved
Yesterday
batteries.
was the
Don't know
best
why.
time. Can he even
I
go
get
for the
rid.
record as he goes across the
And
line?
suddenly
to
batteries are the cool thing to talk
41.8.
about. So,
That beats 41.6. You've got a new record set even before.
But don't get me wrong, I absolutely love high power V8 turbocharged cars, supercharged cars. I love the noise, but what I really like is, 0 to 60, because it's all about the 0 to 60. And that's been a really amusing thing I've seen recently, is people going about, oh, well, 0 to 60, it's not really important. It's like, dude, that's all people have talked about my whole life. People talk about 0 to 60. And suddenly, now 0 to 60 isn't by burning dinosaur juice, and it's not important anymore. Methinks some sour grapes. But I was saying earlier, I mean, I can't believe that people argue like this. It's like people arguing over which is better on a racetrack, diesel or petrol. It's like, no, people wouldn't have that discussion because it's a boring and rubbish discussion. But we'll see how many hypotheticals, goalpost moving, straw man arguments we get, because this is one of the new ones. Electric cars aren't safe because of the electromagnetic radiation, because motors make EMF, and it's like, I mean, motors do make EMF, but no. It's a bit like Wi-Fi is an easy one to explain. So Wi-Fi emits radiation, a lot of it, but it's such a high frequency, it can't penetrate your skin, because essentially the higher the frequency, the less the penetration. That's just physics. So it can't give you cancer, it can't rewrite your cells or anything. And yeah, speaking as a person with, I guess, 3, at least 2 very, very loud vehicles. I've got electric vehicles as well, and I always drive them because they're better and nicer. And my mum likes my Tesla. She hates my Impreza. She absolutely hates it. But she likes the Tesla because I can drive it slowly and carefully and like limousinely. Whereas the Impreza only has full chav or, well, full chav. The thing is, and I don't know if you're back, Dinosaur Fire Chief, I don't want to pull out because he was so like, oh, you're not gonna do it, you're not gonna do it, you're not gonna do it, you're gonna chicken out. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I've done interviews. I was on the BBC World Service, and I think it was, what was it, 75 million listeners, which was like, oh. Now, I've done some very, very, very prestigious talks. I'm like, absolutely, if I get to go and chat about cars and batteries, hell yes. But the thing is about all of this, and if anybody's watching this back, leave us a comment at this point, just so I know I'm just not sitting here at 1:30 in the morning sipping Pepsi Max, talking to myself. All of the information I hear about people, I can just come back with that was true 10 years ago. And one I'm sure will come up is about fast charging. And it's like, yeah, what you're saying was absolutely true on the Renault Zoe, which came out in... this is the thing, I don't know. I'm going to say 2010, but it might have been earlier or later. It was 2014. Oh, well, yeah. So the Zoe was awful in a lot of ways. And the Nissan Leaf was awful in a lot of ways. And people keep talking about those, even though, like, it's just, that's not how they are. That's not how they've been for quite some years. I thought Zoe was older than that. When was the Nissan Leaf out? Nissan Leaf was 2010. Okay, so the Leaf was before the Zoe. And the Roadster was first, which I think was 12 years. Oh, crikey, 14 years. Blimey. Yeah, I met a guy with a Roadster and an EV meetup last weekend. It's so pretty. It's a really pretty. I mean, it looks like a Lotus. It looks lovely. And it's a shame that there aren't any little electric cars because I've got a big electric car and it's way too big for me. Like, it's way bigger than my Mark car, which is what I used to drive. Our Roadster was used as a proposal for a wind power electricity company. Which wind power electricity company? What I do find amusing is how often you go onto Wikipedia and you go, oh, let's look at the citation. And you go, that's not actually a citation. You've just linked something. Yeah. Here you go. Here's the proof that, yeah, it's just, I'm guessing a wind farming company. Oh, there you go. Wind energy. But I've noticed a lot about Wikipedia. Well, the best one, it's the Model X drag racing. I think it's an alpha. Yeah, here we go. This is, I still see people going, they're slow. So this is a Tesla Model X drag racing, an Alfa Romeo 4C, which is not a slow car. That is a fast little sport car. And the Model X is also towing another Alfa 4C. That's how much quicker these things are. That's how wacky they are. It's 2.5, 2 a bit ton vehicle. They're not just a bit fast. They're really fast. Real money. 2.2, 2.5. Yeah, that's a big, heavy vehicle. And again, that's one you say, oh, EVs, they're so heavy. And it's like, show me the last time Ferrari made a car lighter than the Model 3. And it's quite funny how heavy about that way. So it's one of those sort of, yeah, but that's just not true. There was a fantastic, I don't know who it was by, a fantastic article that analysed tyre wear, because they basically want to do a hit piece against EVs to prove that EVs get through tyres quicker. And they said you lose 1 gram off your tyres per kilometre driven. Now, a tyre will last 35,000 kilometres, which is like 350 kilos. So people have pointed out that means that your tyre would only last you about 3 days. What they meant was 1 gram per 1,000 kilometres. That's fine, but that means that you'll lose a whole 20, 30 grams off your tyre. You know, it's not a lot. Whereas, but that doesn't stop people going, EVs wear out the tyres, you know, 1 gram per kilometre. It's like you didn't even stop to think for a moment before you went, yeah, that's bollocks. But yeah, the Roadster's a lovely car, and I would like a I'd like something like that, because there's a new Hyundai coming out. No one knows what it is, but it's electric. Sorry, Honda? I can't remember now. But no one knows what it is. All we know is there's a car coming out. It looks like that. Like, oh, that looks cool. Because quite frankly, most EVs are quite boring looking, because that's how you sell a lot. You know, the Tesla Model 3 is quite a boring looking car. That's the sad truth it, but boring looking cars sell a lot, whereas weird looking cars generally don't. God damn, this guy's late. Mr. Fire Chief, I seem to call you from Canada, but I might be wrong. Can you remind me? I think it's just you and me. I don't think anybody else cares about. I did ask very nicely, can anyone come and support me? There's a couple. I think the ID Buzz looks fabulous. I really like the looks of the ID Buzz. I think it looks great. A little bit expensive, but I think it's lovely. Most of them, though, pretty boring. Like most EVs are boring because they need to sell a lot. That you can't do a weird, well, like the Honda E is probably a good example. There's a bunch of things wrong with the Honda E, but it looks great. It really looks adorable. They're great cars to drive, but holy shit, expensive and really shit range. It's one of those like, yeah. But what it has got, which is quite, so that's just one big screen all the way along the dash. And then it doesn't have wing mirrors to improve the range. Haha, I think it's got like a 120-mile range. So it has a camera rear mirror, has a camera on the left and a camera on the right for your wing mirrors because it doesn't have them. It's odd. The problem is it's too expensive and not good enough. But looks fabulous. I'm like, oh, it looks cute. It looks great in reality. And one of the first I test drove, and it was quite funny because, as I said, I'm a car driver. I love cars, and the guy learned very quickly. The dealer quite quickly. I was going to thrash this, so he said, "Oh, we'll just go off here. We'll just went down some B roads," and I just hammered it around B roads, going, "This is great." But yeah, there you go, 137 miles. That's. So if we want to talk, American electric cars their range is determined by what's called WLTP. Don't ask me what it stands for. And the problem is, if it says that it does 200 miles WLTP, that does not mean you can get 200 miles out of it. All it means is if one car does 200 WLTP, one car does 400 WLTP, one goes twice as far as the other. Under identical circumstances, that's all you can get. But obviously it doesn't know whether or not it's going uphill, downhill, whether it's windy, whether it's hot, whether it's cold. It has no idea. So this is but as people keep saying, like, manufacturers have lied about their MPGs for years, because the official MPG test is go around on a flat oval for an hour at 35 miles an hour. It's just not realistic. Though obviously when we're talking about EVs, people pick the stories about the rubbish range and then use the manufacturer's claimed range, or they've got, oh, my car gets 70 mpg. It's like, yeah, but it doesn't, does it? Like, you may have got it once. Like my Tesla, if I drive my Tesla around town, I'll get 350 miles. If I drive it down the motorway, I'll get 250 miles. Drive around a racetrack, gonna get 30 miles. You just, depends how you drive it. The Tesla's very cool though, because it's got the it calculates to insane accuracies your predicted range based on your driving style, the change in height of your journey, the temperature, the wind, absolutely everything. So it's really, really good. And they constantly feed back, because if they are slightly wrong, then they'll guess. But the main killer is speed. So yeah, you get this graph that shows you what it reckons you're doing, what you manage. And basically, if I hit traffic, this goes way down. If I'm barreling along, it goes up. So yeah, it's really, really good. So this concept of range anxiety it just doesn't exist anymore. It just doesn't. It takes you about 10 days to begin to trust the guessometer, as people call it. But they're really, really good. But you'll learn very quickly to trust it. It's just that in your car, the bit that guesses how much range you've got left, it's just crap. It's you can drive in the wrong gear for a bit, and it will change your your estimated range massively. Because my motorbike, it's what did it get? I got 140 miles to a full tank. This is on a very big motorbike as well. So yeah, again, most of my experiences with Teslas and Zeros, but all of the charging network's not there yet. It's just there are literal millions of people driving EVs without any issues. It's just that sometimes you go, oh, that charger was down. Or sometimes you go, that charger was broken, or somebody else is using it. But it's genuinely quite rare. I've had to wait for about 10 seconds for a charger. That's it. I pulled up, went, and then somebody else pulled out. I'm like, brilliant. It's just not a thing. Where are you from, Dino Fire Chief? You don't have to give me your exact thing. I'm just curious because one thing I hear from a lot of people is, there's no chargers where I am. It's like, I guarantee you there are, but you don't notice them until you own one. So I'm going hopefully to a racetrack on Monday, and I had a check, and there are 35 chargers within 2 miles of the racetrack, because I'm a little bit concerned because I'm going to be absolutely caning it. They do have on-site power, but they probably won't let me charge the car. But I just want to say to them, it's just to cool the battery. So there's a cooling system set up for track days. Because again, the battery overheats, it stops working, and it's like I've got the big Brembo brakes, I've got the battery cooling. Dora, what's he doing? Oh, she's in a box. So. But yeah, the UK, we've got a thing called ZapMap, which is amazing. So when you go, it doesn't work, you can't do it. Like, well, here's ZapMap, and bollocks. It thins out a bit towards, this is where my mum lives down here. But this is one of those, just saying, there aren't any charges, and it's a bit weirdly empty in Wales, but I mean there's not a lot out here really. But yeah, the UK charging network is one of the better ones, and we have the apps to check it, and I'm assuming there are equivalents for the US. Yeah, it's just insane. Obviously you can filter it by, but I think it's down in Brighton. Brighton's got an insane number, and you look, it turns out they're all street lamp chargers. So in the street lamps, they've got chargers. They've got, now how many is it they've got in Brighton? It's a huge amount. Where do you live, Dino Fire Chief? Just roughly. You give me a city near you. That I believe is quite out of date. They've just added the lamppost chargers. Yeah, so they had 200 chargers in 2020. They're not fast chargers, but the point is, when you're going somewhere, you just plug it in. I also like the way it's over 200, 199, 207. I mean, if you can afford it, right now, the definite winner is Tesla. Tesla has an insane charging network. It has the best battery management system, has the best geometry, handling, performance. They're just bonkers. I have driven a lot of EVs, and the Tesla is the best charger I have ever... the best car I have ever driven. Just full stop. No ifs, no buts. It is the best one. It's not the best one, but it is just literally the best. It's super comfortable. It's super fast. It's not just fast. It's really fast. I'm also curious, Dino Fire Chief, what's the quickest car you've ever driven as well? As I said, I've done a lot of stuff with race cars, and hypercars, and sports cars in my time, and the Tesla is the fastest thing I have ever been in. Sorry, quickest, not fastest. It's my Impreza's faster, but this is yeah. Destination chargers are five definitely the most important. 99 M3. I know what an M3 is. 1999 M3 has a 0 to 60 of 4.8. To be fair, that is quite quick. So for 99, and the Tesla is 3.1, which is insane. The other thing is it's quite hard because obviously as the number goes towards 0, it's quite hard to compare. Like it's much harder to get to 3, and then even harder to get to 2.9, and so on and so on. But the yeah, that's quite a quick car. And if you had taken me out in that car, I'll say last June, I'd be like, holy shit, that's quick. But the day I got my Impreza, my Impreza lost 200 horsepower. It's so fast. And now my Impreza, it's all shout and no trousers. You put your foot down, there's a lot of whoosh, a lot of whine, a lot of noise, but not a lot of go. Just but you're like, oh god, now I'm doing 45 miles an hour. Okay. Whereas the Tesla has, it's got a problem. If you put your foot down on an up ramp, by the time you get to the end of the up ramp, you're doing like 110. I'll message again because like I was going to give him an hour tops of my time. Here, you won't. So right now, I've got an electric car, semi-automatic, and a manual. I also have an electric motorbike and 2 manual motorbikes, one fuel-injected, one carbureted. And I took my fuel-injected motorbike, I've got a cruiser, out for a drive. And yeah, I got to the end of my driveway, and I stalled it because I'd forgotten to pull the clutch in. So that's not what happens. What actually happens is quite quickly you begin to resent changing gear. So if you want to overtake, you've got to drop down 1 gear or 2 gears, possibly 3, depending on what you're doing, and then overtake. Whereas the electric car, mirror, indicate, go. So you begin to resent it. I've also done quite a lot of track driving, and I've spun the car a bunch of times. Every single time I've spun or fluffed up, I was either in the wrong, even too high a gear, I was in too low a gear, I was thinking about changing gear, I just changed into the wrong gear, or I was trying to change gear around the corner. Every single time I was in the wrong gear, 100%. So again, I've got a little smart roadster, flappy paddle gearbox. The gearbox is shit. It's about a second to change the gear, but it does it so I don't have to. I keep my foot down, it changes up. I come off the power, I brake around the corner, and if it wants to change down, it changes down. So I don't have to worry about that. On a motorbike, I mean, changing gears is kind of fun, but my old motorbike, top end of first gear was 87 miles an hour. It's if you're going to go, you're doing about 140 by that bit. Ooh, I'd love to do Laguna Seca. Like, have you been on Laguna Seca? Oh man, I mean, bear in mind, I've done all the British tracks. I've done Silverstone and Brands Hatch and Donington, but Laguna Seca, I've done that in VR a few times. And what's it called? The Snake? I forgot the name of the court. What is it? The insane drop. Yeah, the corkscrew. That's it. Oh my god, I've done that in VR and it's something else. But I would love to do that in reality. Like I really, really would. So you live near. I don't know what this place is called. Salinas? So, compare this to the UK, where it is a crazy number. The US is very backwards, which is a bit rubbish. But you have 6. So, I mean, if you are... yeah, let's zoom out a little bit. Let's zoom out and show you the range of the Tesla, which is about 400 kilometers. So you can get from where you are to Death Valley National Park on a single charge on a Tesla. So that's how far you could drive. So there's no worry about lack of EV chargers because there's a shit ton there. So there's a shit ton halfway. This is the thing. But until you go looking for it, you wouldn't know. Fun numbers. The UK has... can't find it. There are 56,237 EV chargers in the UK. I wonder how we're in the US. Not all are quick, don't forget. Because all of our McDonald's have now got them. That's only 6,000. Oh, wait, hold on. See, this is the problem you've got. This says, oh, fast charging. Okay, you got 6,000 fast chargers. I should probably write that down. That's terrible. I bet you most are Tesla. But you got 46,000 slow chargers. So this is the thing that people forget. When you're driving somewhere, you don't drive somewhere to turn around and come back. You drive somewhere for a reason. You drive to visit family, go to the cinema, go out to eat. You know, you're not driving. You might be driving for the hell of it, but you know, you are driving somewhere for a reason. When you arrive wherever you're going, you can generally charge whilst you do something. So you leave with a full battery, and then you drive to your location, and you've got half, whatever, and then when you leave there, you've got full battery again. So overnight, I can get from a normal plug socket at the slowest charge rate the Tesla will do. I'll still get 180 miles of range overnight. Like, it's fine, unless you are genuinely doing 200 miles. Well, if you're doing more than that, crank it up. It will do double that on 10 amps. But it's not a real issue. You go somewhere, you charge at the place. You know, if you were going to, I mean, bear in mind, what I'm trying now is a bit of a pain in the ass. So if you were going to a restaurant in, I can't the name of this place, wherever it is, if you're going to In-N-Out Burger, you might want to park there and charge. I mean, you might in this case, because as I said, the US has particularly piss poor support. It is way behind the rest of the world. You know, you'd park there and then you'd get a taxi to your food. This is where, obviously, this is where Tesla wins, because what you should be able to do is drive to the In-N-Out Burger, get out your car, tell the Tesla to go park. Beepy noise going off downstairs. I think that's my car alarm. Well, the irony. So one of the good things about Tesla is they give you patches all the time. And one of the things that happens during a patch is the alarm goes off. It's the worst alarm. It sounds like a digital watch. But yeah, there was a patch for my car. This is the future. There was a patch for my car which I just actioned via my mobile phone. Yeah. Well, the rhetoric gets moved away from fossil fuels is driven by money. We've just had this in the UK. We've just had a changeover in our government, and the new government is very anti-wind, anti-solar, pro-oil, and it's like, oh, for God's sake. So you'd have to pay me to drive a petrol car again. I've got my Impreza. I'm taking it to the garage. Well, I guess it'll be in the next month or so because it needs to be done. And at that point, I'm going to have quite a long discussion with them about selling it because it's just not. It's not the fun it used to be. It's really not. It's lost that spark, that joy. So there's my two cars. Someone's 25 years old. To be fair, it's 25 years. It's got better, but it's just, it's not as good as it used to be. I am someone who enjoys driving cars, and the Impreza has always been very, very fun, but the Tesla just destroys it. But the thing is, when people are going, oh, but don't you miss that? Don't you miss this? It's like, no, because if I want a loud noise or really, really rough suspension or, unpredictable torque curves, I've got all that. I can just take my Impreza out. I just don't. And the same thing, I've got a bunch of motorbikes, and I will always take the electric motorbike, not because it's cheaper, but it is. It's just more fun, just simply more fun. And this is the best Impreza. So if you know your cars, this is a 1998 two-door Type R. This is the lightest and fastest one, well, to the new one, I guess, but they ever made. All the ones since then are heavier, and to a great degree, you can't cheat physics. Heavier is not better. So this is quite literally one of the best ever made. And it just has lost that sparkle for me, I guess. I do like it, but I can't really think of a reason why I would use it now. It's also worth about 8 times what I paid for it, and that I bought it very cheaply. I didn't really realise at the time what a rare and unusual car that I had accidentally managed to buy off some bloke. I bought it because it had stickers on it, and I was looking for a replacement for my old PPP Impreza that I had run into the ground. So yeah, but because I've got you're quite right, the Impreza has the pedigree. I have one of the best driver's cars of all time. I also have an SV650, and if you mention an SV650 to many bikers, they'll just go, oh, I love that bike. Again, it's one of the best bikes. It is a V-twin. It's a high revving V-twin, so perfectly boring, predictable torque curve. Really, really nice bike. Everybody loves this bike. I've also got a Suzuki Marauder. Oh dear. Or was it Intruder? I can never remember. I think it's Marauder. I can't type. It's close enough. I also got a V-twin. Mine looks a bit better. And so if I want the loud V-twin burble, I've got it. If I want the noise and the vibration of a high revving V-twin, I've got that. And quite literally, every single time I go anywhere, I take my Zero, which is quite a boring looking bike. My biggest complaint is it's a boring looking bike, and it literally charges off a kettle lead. But oh my god, is it so fun to ride? Like, that makes me feel like a learner rider again. It really does. It is so fun, so much torque, so light, such a low center of gravity. It's fantastic. And you think people are anti cars, you should see motorbikers. It's insane. And you get the same thing. Oh, I need to do 300 miles and fill up. And it's like, dude, if I did 300 miles on a motorbike, I'd A, be dead, and B, I would not be looking to do another 300 miles on the motorbike. Yeah, the Tesla, I've got a very pretty looking wrap on it. So. But yeah, love this bike. Absolutely love it to bits. And if they weren't quite so expensive, I got it cheap. If they weren't quite so expensive, I would get rid of my other two bikes and get the longer range version. But they are a little bit more expensive than I would like to do. I also designed and 3D printed those for the front of the car. J'amuse. Yeah, it looked most obviously the car looked best at the wrap place, you know, under the fancy lights. Oh, he works on Zero Motor. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, well, if he's a good friend from me, let him know it is the best bike I have ever driven, and I evangelize it. I did a what? I did a whole bunch of stuff with Mission Motorsport about electric vehicles, and that was one of the things I chatted about was oh yeah, so it is. One of the things I chatted about was the Zero motorcycles, because they're great. They're really, really, really good. I'm everyone I have talked to about oh yeah, that. But everyone I've talked about Zero motorcycles, it's just like, dude, go and try one. Don't even have a discussion. Just go and try one. If you don't like it, fine. Bet you fucking do. Yes, people think those are the batteries in real life. Like genuinely, people think those are the actual batteries. It's hilarious. So I went, dude, if those were the actual batteries, I'd just fill the boot with them and get like 3,000 miles of range. Well, I worked on, well, yeah, I worked on MotoGP games, I worked on WRC games, and I worked on Formula 1 games. Looks like it was a party. But yeah, if you do see them, genuinely, I love the way you've got it. I adore my Zero. It is great. But like the Tesla, it does have one drawback. It's not a drawback that you'll care about. The biggest drawback of both the Zeros and the Teslas, they were designed in California. It doesn't really rain in California. It doesn't really snow. It doesn't really get wet. So the Zero, the one I've got, the Zero S, for example, has no traction control. Like, dude, we don't get, you know, it gets cold and wet and horrible in this country. Whereas it doesn't do that so much in California. So I sometimes, when I try and put the power down, it wheel spins, and I've ever wheel spun a vehicle, but when you wheel spin, it takes a long time for the RPM to grow because of torque curves. When you wheel spin an EV, it goes from braking traction to red line, yeah, quarter of a second. It's not like it's instantly. It's horrifying. So I have wheel spun the Zero a couple of times, and I don't understand why it doesn't have traction control, because it does have ABS, which means it's monitoring the speeds of the wheels. So that means, well, I hear that in California, the sky's blue rather than sort of a grey colour. So the guy said, 50 minutes ago, give me a minute. I'm going to give him like 5 more minutes. I should have just joined a channel, so shouldn't I? If you, I just joined the live stream channel. If you want to pop in and say hi, I'll finish with a drink. I'm just going to go to bed. If he joins now, I'm going to have to be like, oh, I'm going to have to go and get more drink. Oh, I can't believe you live near Zero. That's really cool. I would totally pop in, going, I fucking love these. They're fucking great. Like, I absolutely, if I evangelize lots of things because they're great, and the Zero is just the best bike I've ever ridden. And I've ridden a lot of motorbikes, and it's just all the torque, and it Barris's faster bike, like bigger bikes, and it just looks, I mean, I forgot to complain, it looks shit. It looks like a really boring commuter bike. Whereas, yeah, there's some zeros there, that's what I've got. I've got that one. That's its problem, is it looks very boring. And with bikes, you can sometimes get away with an exciting looking bike, more so than a car, where people don't want exciting looking cars, they want quite boring looking cars. I would absolutely go there going, can I have a look around your factory, please? Have you got any new ones coming? I don't know what 91F is in C. What? Wait. And it went down. I mean, in the UK, we just had it at, was it 41? In the UK, we had a heat wave and it got to 107, which was quite, it wasn't sunny as well. That was the weird thing. So this was the hottest day the UK's ever had. And I went out expecting blue skies and it was completely overcast. Of course, they got some zero bikes out, but it was completely overcast, but really warm, because when you get heat waves, it's not the sun that does it, it's the air. But yeah, there's no way I'm doing this again, though. Like, if this guy's like, oh, this is entirely on you. I do actually have a podcast coming up about Astro trucks. But yeah, I'd like to do some more things. As I said to Sammy, I'm tired of seeing all of this anti-EV bullshit. If it was true, I'd be all over it. If, you know, if hydrogen was actually viable, I'd be all over it. Yeah, I did get aircon last year, and I'm very glad I did. The UK buildings are genuinely not designed for temperatures like that. And the best story I heard about this was Manchester Hospital. They opened up their doors because it was so hot to let the air through, and loads of seagulls flew in and they couldn't get rid of them. That's how prepared we are for hot weather. But yeah, so people said this is the hottest summer we've ever had so far, and it's like, yeah, I have a horrible feeling that could be the truth. I've always wanted to go Laguna Seca, by the way. I genuinely have. It is what game did I play it on? I think it was Indy 500. Yeah, the corkscrew. Again, I've done it in VR and it gives you a quite good indication, but that is I hope they were parked. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, I hope they were parked rather than going around like that. Wait, what? Is this someone's photo? Was it a... Was this stopped again slowly? Was this a... Map with the thingy? But yeah, there's a huge elevation change there very, very, very quickly. I'll tell you what, either they were going slowly or this Google car was hammering along. If it's a Google car, you can only look at... Oh, no, it was a Google car. I wonder if they got them to do formation driving around the Google car to make it look cool. They totally did, didn't they? That's really sweet. But this is a track I know quite well because I've done it quite a lot in computer games. Yeah, we have a racetrack in the UK. Oh god, which one is it? Admiral Park. That's got some elevation changes and they're freaking terrifying. Oh. So yeah, I'm not going to be able to show you really, but this here is a huge elevation change on that bit there. And then this bit here, a huge downwards elevation change. And it's... that's a really awful thing. photo from here, would that be good? It really doesn't do it justice. It's not as much as the corkscrew, which is I think the biggest elevation change in any racetrack. But yeah, it's that's that. I've done that one. It's light. You can feel the car has no grip whatsoever. One of the other tracks I do has a like a valley go down. And it's all very light, and then it has an up, and you just feel yourself getting compressed into the seat. Well, he's been gone for 50 minutes, so I think I'll give him a couple more. Well, I said I think I would quite enjoy just going to him. Wrong, because that's what Trump did. But yeah, I do feel I should make some videos about electric cars. But I mean, I said I bought a Tesla Model 3. I haven't regretted it for one moment. It has absolutely been the best car I have ever driven. No ifs, no buts, full stop. I do have complaints about it. This is not a perfect car. The indicator noise is terrible. The reverse noise is terrible. The auto windscreen wipers are next to useless. Hashtag designed in California. And the what's the other one? Oh yeah, the auto dimming headlights are a bit rubbish as well. But when my complaints about the car start with, I don't like the indicator noise, and you begin to realise how fucking good this car is. It's not like it's a little bit better. It is really good, and that's the level of pickiness. So I said I was very, very worried I would have a buyer's regret, buyer's remorse, but I absolutely love this car to bits. And as long as there is I mean, I don't know how far you commute to work, but if you commute to work 15 miles, then, wait, what? You commute to work 15 miles. I mean, it's not even if you have to charge once a week. Lots and lots of places also have chargers at work. So bear in mind, you don't need to fast charge when you're at work. You're at work for 8 hours. You turn up at work, you plug it into a normal plug socket, and it's charged by the time you leave. And that's what a lot of people do. I am surprised, by the way, that Tesla have not put superchargers at racetracks. In the UK, again, I'm very surprised that every single racetrack doesn't just have one. Just one, just to remind people Tesla's there and they're really awesome. I don't believe there is a Tesla supercharger there, you know. I believe that to be a lie. You also become quite adept at spotting the Tesla superchargers when you pull in going, where am I going? Where's the charger? Because you get a little map that shows you. It's always really well signposted in the UK as well. God, that wasn't a very nice day. Now I've gone back to 2017, 2019. Oh, I wonder where the chargers are. They're not there. Should I give him another chance, do you think? Or should I block him and go to bed? Hey, solar panels. We love it. I genuinely expected it to end up in just a shouting match. Like, genuinely, not even joking. Oh, these are all Tesla destination chargers. Yeah, there is a... Oh, wow. So again, let me pick a random city. Let's go to Coventry in the UK. Like, random city. I've no idea. There you go. 2 chargers there. So bear in mind, these are Yeah, there you go. There's a supercharger. These ones are mega fast. These ones are crazy fast. Oh. Wait, I thought you said yeah, there you go. Oh, I've been here. There aren't that many in the UK, but yeah, these are all non-Tesla charger. Ecotricity? Yeah, Ecotricity. And these are all the Tesla ones, and there's a blur. But there's just no lack, and you are, I mean, if you're doing motorway miles, it's a different range. But if you're doing normal miles, you're genuinely looking at 300 miles plus of range in your car. It's motorway miles that kill it, it's speed. So my motorbike's got a range of, depending how I drive it, 80 to 90 miles. Not on motorway speeds. On motorway speeds, the power, it's terrifying. It drops by more than 1% per mile. It's horrifying. Because it's a commuter bike, it's not designed for long, high-speed runs. Well, I shall declare myself the winner, as apparently timekeeping is not amongst your skills. Right, well, I will head off. Tomorrow I'm getting solar installed, so I am very excited about that. But yeah, I give him a Saki dig, so I'll see if he turns up. Other than that, I am going to and sleep, because I've got some people coming around to put scaffolding up tomorrow. My life is a thrill a minute, I tell you. Give him till he's been offline an hour. But this is why we've got that channel on the Discord, because quite a lot of us are into EVs and batteries and technology in the future and all of those sort of things. And I actively welcome discourse. I'd be the first to admit that EVs are not for everyone, but they do cover about 90% of people. Same thing with motorbikes. There's no motorbike that does everything. No plane that does everything. There's no car. There's no truck. There's no boat. All of these are you've always got to pick one. But unless you have a particularly, oh, you're joking. It's not. Yeah, hold on. We'll go. Yeah, unless you have a particularly weird lifestyle. Yeah, you're joking, because I've got that one and that one. Like, they haven't designed a web browser that works for me. So I've now started using multiple accounts and things. But yeah, these are all my talking points. You see, I did all my research. He didn't fucking turn up. It's like, oh, we use coal. Here's the best one. The UK's coal. This is one of the few things I'm proud of my country. It was 2020. We went for 2 weeks without using coal. And I think a lot of people reacted like me, which is, we're still burning coal. What? I think we're still burning coal. I thought we stopped burning coal, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago. What do you mean? Like, there is a coal power station right near me, but it's Drax. It's yeah, here we go. So this is near me, and it never runs. It runs to keep going. But the piles of coal they've got outside are crazy. This is all coal. You know, it's in case they do need to use it, which they don't, generally speaking. But yeah, so this is shows we're going about, the environmental damage of this and that and the other. Like, check this out. This has got its own dedicated. Look at the size of these trains. Its own dedicated railway lines heading in multiple directions. 12 cooling towers, which don't use anymore. It exists, and it occasionally spins up and does something, but I've never seen it run. Solar or But yeah, huge railway network here. I mean, look at this stopping yard just to supply. Trains come in with coal. Coal gets supplied there. Yeah, it's madness. But we barely use coal in the UK. We just don't. Like, I've lost the graph now. We simply don't use it anymore, and it's only been in the last couple of years that's happened. And when it became news, we're not using coal anymore. And it's just like, what, why were we? What are you doing? Stop burning coal. What the fuck? We're in the 2000s. It should all be nuclear and solar, not this. Yeah, I'll be fascinated to see the end of this year's electricity mix with the gas going on, gas crisis and everything. But yeah, I'm gonna go to bed now. This guy loses. I didn't answer. Shall I block him, or shall I arrange doing this again? What do you reckon? Would it be interesting? I feel like I sometimes need to get involved in some drama. My life's quite boring. Just finishing my drink. But if nothing else, if you're going to be late to something, you text them, like going, "Hey, I'm going to be late." Well, yeah, I mean, it is 2:15, but I mean, I don't sleep very well at the best of times. So, no, okay, I will leave it open then. As I said, I'm getting solar installed tomorrow. So maybe tomorrow I'll be like, yes, let's do it tomorrow. It's going to be brilliant because I'm really excited about getting solar and getting a house battery, which I realise makes me an unusual person. I had to shut down so much as well. I've got to shut down my NAS and everything because obviously the power will go off while they hook it all up. Whoops. But yeah, cheers for the chat. And I will hopefully see you all in Astro Trucks at some point because we need to do some larger tests. I was going to do a test tonight, but I didn't get a build ready. There's a new build up. But we'll see y'all very soon. And I guess I'll leave the stream up in case. Who knows? Ooh, punch the microphone. No, not everyone.